alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very good evening to all of you. Hope you all are fine. Okay, let's start. So we are on the page of 62. The book is Learning How to Learn. Now you try. Pre-planning to avoid distraction. Write down the things that distract you from the task at hand. For each one, come up with a new habit to work on. If you are reading this on an electronic device, make your own table on paper. Here is an example to get you started. If you are younger, you may want to sit down with an adult for 10 minutes or so to get you started. Okay, distraction, bad zombies. So here you will write all the list of bad zombies, like the distractions, and here you will write the solution, friendly zombie. Leaving phone on the kitchen. For example, there is a distraction. My phone vibrates. I stop working. So what is the solution? Leave phone on the kitchen table when doing a Pomodoro. Okay. Now you try. Boost your reading power with active recall. We want to give you a sneak preview now of an important learning technique that will help you in the chapter ahead. This technique is called active recall. Active recall means bringing an idea back to mind. Actively reading key ideas you are learning has been shown to be a great way to understand them. You can probably guess that we have been teaching you how to avoid procrastination, so you have more time for important techniques like active recall. Here is how you do it. Before you begin to read a chapter in a book, first do a picture walk through it. We talked about this at the end of the first chapter. Then begin reading. Don't rush. Go back over a paragraph. If it doesn't make sense to you or if your attention wanders, wandering attention is perfectly normal. It doesn't mean that you are not smart enough, okay? Just a few words in the margin or another sheet of paper about an idea you think is important if you need to. Underline a keyword or two, but not too many. This is the critical part. Look away from the page and see what you can recall. What are the key ideas on the page? Play them back in your mind or say them out loud to yourself. Do not simply reread the page over and over again, and don't underline or highlight big amount of text. Pulling the key ideas from your own mind instead of just reading or rereading it on the page is the critical idea behind active recall. You don't need to use recall with every page of the book. But if you try it on a few key pages, you will be surprised at how this can help. Research has shown that if you use active recall in your studies, you will do much better later when you are taking tests. Using recall in your learning means you can perform well even when you are under stress. And it doesn't just put information into your memory, it also builds your understanding. The 3 key steps to powerful reading. Number 1, picture walk. Number 2, read with care. Number 3, use active recall. You can also use active recall as a great general learning tool. For example, close this book and see how many key ideas you have read so far that you can remember. Once you have done your best, open the book back up and see how it compares. Recall the information at different times and in different places. You can use active recall while waiting for a friend, sitting on a bus, or before going to sleep. There are 2 important reasons to use recall in this way. First, you don't have your notes or the book in front of you, so you are truly recalling the information rather than sneaking in a peek. Second, you don't have your usual study environment around you. As you will see later, learning in different places can glue the information more strongly in your mind. When I was in middle school, I used to walk to my grandma's house for lunch. As I was walking, I would try to recall key ideas that I had just learned in the class, as if rewatching an interesting film. This technique helped me tremendously to excel in my studies. Zhu Jing, Eileen Lee graduates of Tsinghua University, China's top university. Okay, summing it up. We all develop habits. They are our inner zombies, things we do without even thinking about them. Our zombie habits can be helpful or not. Some are great time savers, but often people develop the habits of putting off their work, procrastination. This is really bad for effective learning. It doesn't leave you enough time to focus or to soak in the lessons you have learned. Luckily, you can change your habits and make them stick. The Pomodoro technique is a great way of helping you to do focus work. Make a habit of it, shut off distractions, and set a timer to work for 25 minutes. Easy. Then take a break and reward yourself. Do something diffuse. When you put something off, it's hurting your brain. Just getting going stops the suffering. Active recall is a powerful technique for learning. Pull key ideas from your own mind to review them. Don't just look at a page or your note and fool yourself into thinking that the information is in your head. Check your understanding. To make sure you have got the hang of this chapter, answer the following question. Say the answer out loud to yourself, or write them down, or try to teach someone else the answer by explaining what you have learned. When you are done, you can compare your answer with the ones at the back of the book. What is procrastination? Why is procrastination bad for your learning? What happens in your brain when you think about something you don't like or you don't want to do? How would you explain the Pomodoro technique to someone who had never heard of it? What is the most important part of the whole Pomodoro process? What should you do during your break between Pomodoros? Should you plan to finish a task during a Pomodoro? Why or why not? What can be good about going into zombie mood? Now, what does zombie mood have to do with procrastination? What was the point of the arsenic eater's story? How does it link to procrastination? Explain the idea of active recall. So these are the 11 questions you have to, you have to answer, and then please send it to the groups. And for today, just it's enough, I think. Okay. Yallah. Shukriya. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.